Hey guys, a very good day to you all. And in this video, we will be understanding the topic variation in graphs of gas laws. Now, what is the meaning of this topic? In this topic, we will be covering the variation in the graphs of the Charles law, the Boyle's law, the Avogadro's law, and the Gay-Lussac's law. And guys, this topic is a very underrated topic by many of the professors, but trust me guys, this topic is very much important when it comes to your competitive examination. So in the competitive examinations like the JEE Main, a minimum one question is asked from this topic. And guys, trust me, if you watch this video till the end, you are going to get that 4 marks in JEE Main examination. And 4 marks in JEE Main examination are valuable. So the prerequisite for understanding this topic is that you must be knowing the different gas laws like the Boyle's law, the Charles law, the Avogadro's law, and the Gay-Lussac's law. Now guys, if you don't know that, then don't worry, I have made a combined video on that. You can find the link in the description box below, or you can simply click on this I button over here. Okay, and one more thing that you must know is that what is an ideal gas equation. Again, I have made a video on that. You can find the link in the description box below, or you can simply click on this I button over here. So without wasting much time, let's start with this topic. So for understanding this topic, you must know some basic knowledge of maths. Now what basic knowledge of maths is required is that, let's understand that. Suppose I have a y-axis over here, and let's say I have a x-axis over here, and on this graph of xy axis I plot a line. Okay, so if I want to find out the slope of this line, what is the formula? It is nothing but tan of theta, where this theta is nothing but the angle made by the line with the x-axis. Now this slope is also represented sometimes by capital K, or it is also sometimes represented by small m. It depends upon us. So this is the basic knowledge that we have from 8th standard itself. Now what I want you all to observe is that, let's consider the value of tan of 20 degree. So the value of tan of 20 degree comes out to be 0.363. Similarly, let's consider the value of tan of 40 degree. So the value of tan of 40 degree comes out to be 0.839. And if I consider the value of tan of 60 degree, so the value of tan of 60 degree comes out to be 1.73. Now what I want you all to observe is that as we increase the value of theta from 20 degree to 40 degree to 60 degree, the value of its tan is also increasing. So can I say that theta is directly proportional to tan of theta, where if you increase the value of theta, the value of its tan is also going to increase, and if you decrease the value of theta, it is obvious that the value of its tan is also going to decrease. Now, keeping this relationship in mind, can I say that tan of theta is nothing but the slope? So if your tan theta is increasing, so can I say that your slope is also going to increase? So can I say that theta is directly proportional to tan of theta and tan of theta is directly proportional to slope? Which means that if you increase the angle, or it is obvious that your tan of that angle is also going to increase. And if you are increasing the tan value, then it is obvious that your slope is also going to increase. Similarly, if you decrease the angle, so if you are decreasing the angle, the tan of that angle is also going to decrease. And if the tan of that angle is decreasing, then it is obvious that the slope is also going to decrease. So this is the relation that you need to keep in mind throughout this video. So now, keeping this thing in mind, let's understand one example. Okay, suppose again I have a y-axis and again I have a x-axis. Now on this x and y axis, I have one line called as L1, which is making an angle of theta 1, and I have another line which is L2, which is making an angle of theta 2. Now what I want to find is that I want to find out whether the slope of L1 is greater or whether the slope of L2 is greater. So for that, the basic thing that I know is that the slope of L1 is nothing but equals to tan of theta 1. Why? Because it is making an angle of theta 1 over here. So the slope of L1, it is obviously going to be equals to tan of theta 1. And the slope of L2 is nothing but equals to tan of theta 2. So this is the formula for finding out the slope. Now I want to compare whether the slope of L1 is greater or whether the slope of L2 is greater. Now one thing which I can see in this graph is that theta 2 is greater than theta 1. Can you see over here? So since theta 2 is greater than theta 1, keeping this relationship in mind, can I say that if theta 2 is greater, then it is obvious that tan theta 2 is also going to be greater. So tan of theta 2 is going to be equals to is going to be greater than tan of theta 1. Okay, so it is obvious that the greater the angle, greater will be its value of tan. And if the tan theta 2 is greater, so can I say that the slope of line L2 is obviously going to be greater than the slope of L1. So in this way we can find out the relationship between the slope of two different lines. Okay, now if you have understood this thing up till now, and if you know, have understood very well this relationality, then we can move on to our first question. So first of all, we will understand the questions, that is the variation in graphs of Boyle's law. So as mentioned earlier guys, you must be knowing the basic graphs of Boyle's law, and for that you must have watched my video. I am expecting that. Okay, so you must watch that video on Boyle's law. You can find the link in the description box, or you can simply click on this I button over here. You can get that video. Okay, so for the Boyle's law, what we have seen is that we keep n and t constant, which means that we do not change the number of moles of a gas, and we also do not change the temperature of the gas. The temperature and number of moles of a gas are constant, and keeping these two parameters constant, what we do is that we find out the relationship between pressure and volume. So this is the relationship that we get. Now this Kb is nothing but a constant. Okay, so this Kb is nothing but a constant over here, and this constant is nothing but the slope of a line. We will understand that ahead. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now using this relation, can I shift this V on the left hand side? So shifting this V on the left hand side, it goes in the numerator, so PV is equals to Kb. So this is what I know. Okay, up till now I have understood this. Now in the question it states that suppose on the y-axis we have pressure, and suppose on the x-axis I have 1 upon volume. We have seen this basic graph in the Boyle's law video, so you must be knowing what is going to happen over here. We are going to get a straight line. So we have kept the temperature constant at T1, and we have find out the relationship between pressure and 1 upon volume. So we get a straight line, and this line at temperature T1 is making an angle of theta 1. Okay, now similarly what I do is next is that I change this temperature from T1 to T2. So now my temperature is constant at T2. So keeping temperature constant at T2, I found out the graph to be something like this, and this line is making an angle of theta 2. Now what they expect in the question is that we want to find out whether T1 is greater or T2 is greater, which means that the value of temperature T1 is greater or whether the value of temperature T2 is greater. This is what is expected in the question. So let's start with what we know up till now. See, we know that one thing we can observe over here is that theta 2 is greater than theta 1. This is the basics that we know. And keeping this relation in mind, that if theta is directly proportional to tan of theta, so can I say that tan of theta 2 is obviously going to greater than tan of theta 1. And what is this tan of theta 2? It is nothing but the slope of this line T2. So can I represent it as K2 is greater than K1. Okay. So this is the relation that we got up till now. That is, we have got a relation in the slopes, but we want to find out the relation between the temperature, which one is greater. So I will just name this equation to be 1. This is going to be a very helpful equation for us. Now you might be aware of this ideal gas equation, PV is equals to nRT. I will name it to be 2. And I will consider my equation PV is equals to KB. Okay. So PV is nothing but equals to KB, where this K is nothing but the slope. And I will name this to be 3. So now when I compare the equation 2 and equation 3, what I observe is that the left hand sides are same. So if the left hand sides are same, then it is obvious that the right hand sides are also be going to be same. So the value of KB, which is nothing but the slope, is nothing but nRT. So from this equation, what I observe is that this n, which is nothing but a number of moles, I have kept it to be constant. And this R is obviously a gas constant, and it has a specific value, that is 8.314 joules per mole Kelvin. So this n and R is not going to change. The only thing that is changing is that temperature from T1 to T2. So can I say that the variable factor is here is T and K. So what I meant to say is that if you change the value of T, the value of K is going to change. So can I say that this KB is directly proportional to T? Because if you increase the value of T, it is obvious that here there is multiplication happening, so the value of KB is also going to increase. So can I say that if you increase the value of T, the value of KB is also going to increase, and if you decrease the value of T, it is obvious that the value of KB is also going to decrease. So keeping this relation in mind, instead of this K2, which is nothing but the slope, can I write as T2 over here? So instead of K2, I am going to write T2, which is nothing but the temperature. So T2 is greater than T1. Okay. So we have got the final answer that this temperature T2 is greater than T1. Now you might be wondering that if you solve these long steps in the exam, then you might lose time. Okay. So for that, one shortcut that you all need to keep in mind, only for this graph you need to keep in mind this shortcut, that if the value of theta 2 is greater, then the value of T2 is going to be greater. Can you see the value of theta 2 is greater over here? So therefore the value of temperature is also greater. Okay, so this is the shortcut that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so now let us understand, if in the exam they give us one more at temperature constant. So if they keep the temperature constant at T3, and suppose this is making an angle of theta 3 over here. So now they have given us 4 options that tell us whether which one is correct. T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1, or the B option, that is nothing but T1 is greater than T2 is greater than T3. The C option tells us that T2 is greater than T1 is equal to T3, and the D option tells us that T1 is equals to T2 is equals to T3. So now amongst these 4 options, we want to find out which option is the correct one. So what are you going to do? You are going to look out at the angles. So here the greatest angle is going to have the greatest temperature. Since theta 3 is going to have the greatest angle, therefore the temperature T3 is going to be longest. Okay, so since the angle is greater, therefore T3 is greater. After theta 3 comes the theta 2, so therefore temperature T2 is going to be greater after T3, and the smallest one is nothing but theta 1, therefore temperature T1 is going to be the smallest temperature. Okay, so now I hope you have understood this one variation, and this variation is very popular when it comes to your CET. In CET, many of the times this graphs is asked, so don't make a mistake in such a simple graph. Okay, now another variation that we are going to understand in Boyle's law is that, see, we have done one more graph on in Boyle's law, where on the y-axis we take the multiplication of pressure into volume, and on the x-axis we take either pressure or volume. And what we observe is that, let's take pressure to be P1 and volume to be V1, we get a straight line. Why we are getting a straight line? Because pressure into volume is nothing but a constant. These all things I have explained in the Boyle's law video, so I hope you all watch that video. Okay, so P1 into V1 is nothing but a constant, and let's take another set of pressure and volume, and I get another constant over here. Now what in the question they are going to ask is that, find out whether temperature T1 is greater or whether temperature T2 is greater. Okay, so now the basic thing that we know, PV is nothing but equals to KB, and this B I am writing because it is for Boyle's law constant. Okay, so now if I replace this P by P1, this V by V1, then obviously this K is going to be K1. Okay, suppose now if I write P2 into V2 is equals to K2, so can I replace this P2 with K2 and this P1 with K1? Okay, so redrawing this graph, I am replacing these terms just for our better understanding. So I am replacing this P1 with K1, and the temperature is T1 over here, and P2 V2 with K2, where the temperature is T2. Now what we have to find out is that whether temperature T2 is greater or whether temperature T1 is greater. Now one thing that we know is that K is directly proportional to T, which means that greater the value of K, greater will be the value of T. So between K1 and K2, you all can easily see that the K2 is having the greatest value. Since K2 is having the greatest value, therefore T2 is greater than T1. So I hope this simple one is clear for you all, and even these such a simple graphs are also asked in the JEE main examination. Okay, so here we finish the variations in the graphs for the Boyle's law. So hey guys, now we are going to understand the variation in graph for the Charles law. So if you have understood the Boyle's law, then this one is going to be just simple for you all. But guys, before understanding this variation, you must know the fundamental graphs related to the Charles law. And if I don't know that, then you can find the link in the description box below, or you can simply click on this I button over here. Okay, so in the Charles law, what we have seen is that we keep N and P constant, which means that we keep number of moles of a gas and pressure of a gas constant. And keeping these two parameters constant, what we do is that we find out the relationship between volume and temperature, and we get the relationship to be V is equals to Kc into T. Now I am just going to simplify this equation. So can I write this equation as V upon T is equals to Kc, where this Kc is a constant which gives us the slope of the line. Okay, so when we are going to plot the graph, we are going to take this as a slope. Okay, so now in the question they will give us, as we have done this graph earlier also, that on the y-axis suppose there is volume, and on the x-axis suppose there is temperature. Okay, so now by keeping pressure constant at P1. So we have kept the pressure constant at P1, we get a straight line, and the angle made by this line is, let's say, theta 1. Now what we do is that we change the pressure from P1 to P2. Okay, so now the pressure is constant at P2. So keeping the pressure constant at P2, we get another line which is nothing but a straight line. Now the angle made by this line with the horizontal axis, let's assume it to be theta 2. Okay, so now in the question they have asked us to find out whether P1 is greater or whether P2 is greater. Okay, so now first of all we will just solve step by step. What we know up till now, we know that theta 2 is greater than theta 1. This is the basic observation which we can see. Theta 2 is greater than theta 1. Okay, since theta 2 is greater than theta 1, we know the tan of theta 2 is obviously going to be greater than tan of theta 1. And since what is tan of theta 2? Tan of theta 2 is nothing but the slope of line P2. So slope of line P2 is obviously going to greater than slope of P1. And as we all know that we represent slope by K. So since it is for P2, so I am going to write K2 is greater than K1. Okay, so this is the relation that we get. Okay, so this is the basic relation that we know up till now. So although we have got the relationship between the slopes, but we want to find out the relationship between the pressures. So how we are going to find out that? So let us consider an ideal gas equation, which is nothing but PV is equals to nRT. Now what I am going to do is that I am going to shift this P to the right hand side and I am going to shift this T to the left hand side. So the equation becomes something like this: V by T is nothing but equals to nR upon P. Now you might be wondering why I have done so. Because when I compare this equation with this equation, the left hand sides become equal, and since the left hand sides become equal, so now I have got the value of Kc. So when I compare these two equations, I get the value of Kc something as nR upon P. Okay, so now here if you observe one thing, that this n is already a constant and this R is itself a gas constant. Its value is fixed, its value is not going to change. The only parameter which is changing over here is P. We are changing the value of P from P1 to P2. So can I say that Kc is inversely proportional to P, which means that if you increase the value of Kc, that is the slope, then the pressure is going to decrease, and if you decrease the value of slope, then it is obvious that the pressure is going to increase. So now keeping this thing in mind, can I say greater the value of slope, less will be the pressure? Observe one thing: greater the value of slope, less will be the pressure. So can I say greater the value of slope, this slope is for P2, so lesser will be the pressure. So with the help of this equation we have reached to this equation, and we have kept this relationship in mind, that greater will be the slope, less will be its pressure, since K and P are inversely proportional to each other. So I hope that you have understood this. So we have got our answer that P2 is greater than P1. Okay, so now let's say that there is one more change in pressure, let's say P3, and now this angle is suppose theta 3. So now they will ask us, they will give us four options. Let's say that P1 is equals to P2 is equals to P3, and the B option states that P3 is greater than P2 is greater than P1. The C option states that P1 is greater than P2 is greater than P3, and the D says that none of the above. So which is the right option? See, you have to follow these steps and you have to find out the correct answer, and you have to answer comment your answer in the comment section below. I hope you all will get this answer after this explanation. This answer is pretty much easier. Okay, just for hint, I'm going to tell you all that the slope of P3 is greater, then the slope of P2 comes, and after that the least slope is for P1. So now using this relationship you all can find out easily. Greater the slope, less will be the pressure. So out of P1, P2, P3, whoever has the greatest slope is going to have less pressure. You are going to comment the correct answer below in the comment section, and if you have any doubts then you can email me. The email is given below, okay, in the description box itself. Now one more graph that we have seen in the Charles law is that on the y-axis we had taken volume divided by temperature, and on the x-axis we can take either volume or temperature. Let's take volume. Okay, and what we get is that for a specific set of volume and temperature, let's say V1 T1, we get a straight line, and for another specific set of volume and temperature, let's say V2 and T2, we get another straight line over here. So this, let's call the pressure over here is P1 and the pressure over here is P2. Now in the question again they will ask us find out whether P1 is greater or P2 is greater. So now I am going to again simplify this diagram. See, V2 upon T2 is nothing but the formula for K, constant. So can I write them as K2? Okay, so I am writing V2 upon T2, which is nothing but equals to K2, and I am writing this V1 upon T1, which is nothing but equals to K1. So now when you compare both these values, what we get to know is that K2 is greater than K1. It is obvious now the K2 is on the higher side of the y-axis, therefore K2 is greater than K1. Now since K2 is greater than K1, it is obvious that we are going to look out for this relation. What is this relation? K is inversely proportional to P. Greater the value of K, less will be the pressure. I am repeating, greater the value of K, less will be the pressure. So since the greater the value of K, P2, less will be the pressure. So it is just the opposite of the slope over here. So over here can I say that P2 is having the least value and P1 is having the greatest value. Okay. Now moving ahead with the third law, that is our Gay-Lussac's law. So again I will tell you all guys, you all need to know the fundamental graphs. The link is given in the description box below. I hope you all will watch that video. And guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, then please do so, because I upload regular videos on this channel and these videos will be helpful for you all surely. Okay, so let's understand the variations in the graphs of the Gay-Lussac's law. So now basically in the Gay-Lussac's law, what we have seen is that we keep N and V constant, which means that we keep the number of moles and the volume of the gas constant. We are not going to change both these parameters, and keeping these two parameters constant, we find out a relationship between pressure and temperature as P is equals to kg into T. Okay, which means that pressure is directly proportional to temperature. If you increase the pressure, temperature is going to increase. If you decrease the pressure, temperature is going to decrease. And with the help of this relation, we had plotted one graph, which is nothing but the P versus T graph. This graph is similar to the Charles law only, which means that not similar, but the steps of solving the numerical is similar. P upon T graph, and we observed that keeping volume constant at V1, we get one straight line, and the angle made by this line with the horizontal x-axis, let's assume it to be theta 1. Now there is what we do is that we change the volume from V1 to V2. Okay, so we change the volume from V2, and we have now kept the volume constant V2, and we again get one straight line. Let's assume that the angle made by this is something theta 2. Okay, and they will tell us to find out the relationship between V1 and V2, whether V2 is greater or whether V1 is greater. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to simplify this equation. P upon T is equals to kg. Okay, so now what I can see up till now and what I know is that this theta 2 is greater than theta 1. This is the only thing that I know from the question. Okay, so I'm just going to write down that theta 2 is greater than theta 1. Okay, now since theta 2 is greater, then it is obvious that the tan of theta 2 is also going to be greater than tan of theta 1. Okay, why? Because we have seen earlier that the tan of the greatest angle it will obviously be greater. Okay, so since tan of theta 2 is greater, so can I say that the slope of V2, tan of theta 2 is nothing but the slope of V2. So the slope of V2, which is nothing but K2, is greater than K1. So this is the first one thing that we know, that K2 is greater than K1, where this K2 is nothing but the slope of this line V2 and K1 nothing but the slope of this line V1. Okay, so now with the help of this relation, we are going to find out the answer. So let's mark this equation to be 1. Okay, now we are going to consider an ideal gas equation. PV is equals to nRT. Now what I'm going to do ahead, that thing should pop to your mind. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to shift this V to the right hand side and T to the left hand side. So P upon T is nothing but equals to nR upon V. Now why I have done this? Because see, over here when you compare this equation with this equation, the left hand sides are same, and since left hand sides are same, we know that the right hand sides are also be going to same. So the value of kg is nothing but nR upon V. So I'm going to write out the value of kg is nothing but nR upon V. So now in this graph, what we are doing is that we are keeping the number of moles constant. So our n is constant and r is itself a constant. Okay, so these two values, that is n and r, are not going to change. The only parameter that is going to change is volume. As you can see over here, we have changed the volume from V1 to V2. Now since we have changed the volume, therefore can I say that kg, that is the slope, is inversely proportional to volume, which means that if you increase the slope, the volume is going to decrease, and if you decrease the slope, then the volume is going to increase. Okay, so can I say that greater the slope, less will be the volume? I'm talking again. Greater the slope, less will be the volume. So can I say greater the slope, less will be the volume? This is exactly the reverse of it. Sorry, V2 and V1 over here. Okay, so greater the slope, less will be the volume. So I hope that you have understood this relationship. This is similar to the Charles law one only. See, just a reverse of it. Okay, so can I say that greater the slope, less will be the volume, and vice versa, less the slope, greater will be the volume. So I hope you have understood this relation, and we get to know that V1 is greater than V2. Okay, now let's move on to the second graph, in which we had on the y-axis we take, so we draw a y-axis over here, and on the y-axis we take P upon T. See guys, these all graphs I have explained, why we get a straight line and all this I have explained in that video, so make sure you watch that video. So P upon T on the y-axis, and let's take P on the x-axis, or you can either take temperature also. The graphs are going to be same that I have explained in the Avogadro's law, Gay-Lussac's law video earlier also. Okay, so what we get is that for specific P1 upon T1, specific set of pressure and temperature, we get a constant value at a fixed V1 volume. Okay, so for specific set of P1 and V1, we are going to get a constant value. That value is not going to change. And for another set of P2 upon T2, we are going to get another set of constant value. Okay, so let's say that the volume over here is V2. Now guys, the question asks us to find out the relationship between V1 and V2, which is greater, whether V1 is greater or whether V2 is greater. So now what we are going to do, see, basically what is this P upon T? This P upon T is nothing but K. So can I write this to be K2 and this to be K1? So now one thing we can observe over here is that K2 is greater than K1. Am I right? So since K2 is greater than K1, now we are going to use this relation. Greater the value of K, less will be the volume. Greater the value of K, less will be the volume. So greater the value of second one, less will be its volume. Am I right, guys? So I hope you have understood this one also. It is pretty much simpler, and we get to know that the volume V2 is less than V1. Okay, so now let's move on to our last law, that is nothing but the Avogadro's law. Okay, so again I will mention you all that you all must know what is Avogadro's law and its fundamental graphs. Okay, so what we do in Avogadro's law is that we keep pressure and temperature constant. That is, we are not going to change the value of pressure and temperature. Okay, and keeping these two parameters constant, that is pressure and temperature, we found out the relationship between volume and the number of moles. What is the relation? We found out that V is equals to Ka into N, where this N is nothing but number of moles and this K is nothing but the slope of the line. Okay, and with the help of this equation, first of all let me simplify this. Can I write it as V upon N is equals to Ka. Okay, now with the help of this equation we had plotted a graph, if you all remember. So the graph that we get is nothing but a straight line. So we take on the y-axis we take V, and on the x-axis we are going to take N over here, and the graph that we get is nothing but a straight line. So let's say that keeping temperature to T1, okay, you can either consider pressure or you can either consider temperature. Here I am considering temperature. So now the temperature is constant at T1, we get an angle theta 1. So when you keep your temperature constant at T1, you get a straight line which is making an angle of theta 1. Now what I do is that I am going to change the temperature from T1 to T2. So when you change the temperature from T1 to T2, you get another straight line which is making an angle of theta 2 over here, and they will tell you all now to find out the relationship between temperature T1 and T2, that is which one is greater, T1 is greater or T2 is greater. So again what you are going to do, the simplest thing that we know over here, that theta 2 is greater than theta 1. Okay, so this is the simple thing that we know. Since theta 2 is greater than theta 1, so can I say that tan of theta 2 is obviously going to be greater than tan of theta 1. Okay, this is the thing that we know. And what is tan of theta 2? It is nothing but the slope K2, which is greater than slope of K1. Now keeping this relationship in mind, we are going to write our ideal gas equation, which is nothing but PV is equals to nRT. Now again what I am going to do over here is that I am going to shift this P to the right hand side and I am going to shift this N to the left hand side. So we get somewhat like this equation. V upon N is nothing but equals to RT upon P. Okay, so now when you compare this equation, so we are comparing this equation with this equation. So if you observe one thing over here is that the left hand side of both these equations are same, and if the left hand side of both these equations are same, then it is obvious that the right hand sides will also be same. So can I write Ka is nothing but equals to RT upon P. Okay, so this is the one thing that we know. Okay, now what we are doing is that here the R is already a constant value, and we are not changing pressure. The pressure is kept constant, so this P and R are not going to change. The only thing that we are changing in this equation question is that temperature from T1 to T2. So can I say that the variable factor over here is T, and when I find out the relationship between K and T, I found out that Ka is directly proportional to T, which means that if you increase the slope, the temperature is going to increase, and if I decrease the slope, the temperature is also going to decrease. Okay, so this is the one thing that we know. Now keeping this relationship in mind, can I say greater the slope, greater will be the temperature? I am repeating again, greater the slope, greater will be the temperature. So can I say greater the slope, greater will be the temperature? Keeping this thing as same, since K2 is greater, therefore its corresponding temperature is also going to be greater. So T2 is obviously going to be greater than T1. Okay, so we have got our answer that T2 is greater than T1. Now suppose instead of changing temperature, they might ask you all that instead of T2 and T1, suppose there is P1 and P2. So what you are going to do over here? See, now here you have to find out the relationship between K and P. These two parameters are constant, so you will get to know that Ka is inversely proportional to P. That is, if we increase the slope, the pressure is going to decrease. So if greater the slope, less will be the pressure. Greater the slope, less will be the pressure. So I hope this thing is clear for you. Okay, so now let's do another graph which we have covered in the Avogadro's law. That is, let's say on the y-axis we have V by N, and on the x-axis let's say we have temperature. Okay, so sorry, we have N or V. Okay, you can take either N or you can either take V over here. Okay, so guys, now let's take for specific set of V1 and N1. So for V1 and N1, that is our assumed combination, we get a straight line. We have seen this why we get a straight line earlier also. Let's say we change the volume and number of moles from V2 to N2, we get another straight line. Now question says that suppose here the pressure is P1 and here the pressure is P2. You can take it for T1 and T2 also, but I am taking here for P1 and P2. So the question says that find out whether P1 is greater or P2 is greater. So if you'll observe carefully over here, this V upon N is nothing but the formula for K. So can I replace this by K2 and this by K1 over here? Okay, so if I observe one thing, K2 is greater than K1. So can I write that K2 is greater than K1? Now since K2 is greater than K1, keeping this relationship now in mind, that greater the slope, less will be the pressure. I repeat myself again, greater the slope, less will be the pressure. Okay, so greater the slope, less will be the pressure. The corresponding pressure is going to decrease. So we get here that pressure P2 is less than P1. Okay, so guys, this was all about the variation in graphs of the gas laws. If you like this video, then please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do share this video with your friends as well, and guys, go check out my channel where I have uploaded physics and chemistry videos. They might be helpful for you all.